You know that feeling, right? You pull up an app just to check one little thing, and then boom, an hour's gone. We've all been there. Well, it turns out that's not an accident. There's a secret formula at play, and today we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how it works.
I mean, just look at something like Duolingo. It somehow manages to take learning a new language, which can be a total drag, and turns it into this super addictive game. You're chasing streaks, you're earning badges, you actually want to come back. So what's their secret?
What is that magic ingredient? You know, the thing that makes one website feel like a conversation, while another one just feels like a boring old textbook?
Well, it all boils down to one simple but incredibly powerful word: interactivity. This is the engine behind pretty much every great digital experience you've ever had, and understanding it is, well, it's the key to everything.
So let's get into it. What are we really talking about when we say interactivity? Because it's way more than just clicking a few buttons. It's a whole different way of thinking about how we consume information.
At its heart, interactivity is basically a dialogue. It's this two-way street where you, the user, are not just sitting back and watching. No, you're in the mix, you're participating, you're controlling things, you're actually shaping the experience as you go.
Think about it like this. For the longest time, media was a one-way street, right? A movie plays from start to finish, same every time. That's passive. But now, we're in this active, non-linear world. You're not just a passenger on the bus anymore. You're in the driver's seat, deciding where to turn next.
Okay, so we get what it is, but why is it so incredibly effective? Why does this back and forth between us and the screen make such a gigantic difference?
We'll get ready for this because the numbers are pretty staggering. Research shows that when we interact with content, we can remember up to 75% more of it. 75%! That's because our brains aren't wired to just remember what we see. We're wired to remember what we do.
And that huge memory boost comes from these key things. Good interactivity gets us engaged and helps us remember. It can personalize the whole experience just for us. It gives us instant feedback, encourages us to explore, and, this is the big one, it puts us in control. And that feeling of control is what makes it so immersive.
A perfect example of this out in the wild is Khan Academy. It doesn't just throw the same quiz at everybody. No, it's smart. It watches how you're doing and tailors the questions to you, specifically. That's personalized learning, and it's only possible because of interactivity.
All right, so if this stuff is so powerful, how do you actually design it? Well, it's not some kind of dark art. There's a recipe, a playbook that designers follow to create a great graphical user interface, or GUI.
And that recipe has 4 essential ingredients. First up, consistency. Things should look and act the same way no matter where you are. Next, feedback. Every time you do something, the system has to do something back. It's crucial. Third, simplicity. No clutter. If it doesn't need to be there, get rid of it. And finally, visibility. The important stuff should be easy to find, not buried 5 menus deep. And honestly, if you want a masterclass in these rules, just look at the phone in your pocket. The iPhone's interface is just a triumph of this thinking. It's consistent, it gives you instant feedback, and it's so simple. You just know how to use it without thinking.
And these ideas aren't just for found apps. They scale up to handle incredibly complex, even world-changing information. Case in point, the Johns Hopkins COVID-19 dashboard. It became the most trusted source of data for the entire planet, all thanks to brilliant interactive design.
So what was the magic? Well, it put users in control. You could zoom in on your hometown, you could filter the data, you could display it however you wanted. It took this terrifying mountain of information and turned it into a clear, understandable, and personal tool.
So that's when the formula works. But what happens when you break the rules? Let's look at a couple of classic design mistakes, and then we'll take a little peek into the future. Okay, mistake number 1 is the silent treatment. You know this one. You click a button and crickets. Nothing happens. Is it broken? Did my click register? It immediately creates confusion and, let's be honest, a little bit of anxiety.
And the fix is so easy. Every action needs a reaction. A button just has to change color, or you show a little loading animation. Just some small sign that says, yep, got it, working on it.
The second big mistake is creating a maze. You know, when you have to click through menu after submenu after another submenu just to find one simple thing, it's incredibly frustrating, and most people will just give up.
The fix for this is a great rule of thumb called the 3-click rule. Basically, anyone should be able to get to any important page on your site or app in 3 clicks or less. Keep it simple, keep it shallow.
So,
Where is all this headed? Well, we're already talking to our devices and using hand gestures in VR. That's now. What's next is AI that personalizes things for us in real time. And down the road, fully immersive virtual worlds where we can learn and explore in 3D.
But here's the thing to remember, and it might be the most important point today. The technology is going to change like crazy. But the basic rules we talked about, consistency, feedback, simplicity, they're not going anywhere. Why? Because they're not based on technology. They're based on how the human brain is wired.
And this isn't just some abstract design theory. It has a real impact on all of us every single day, especially when we're trying to learn something new or make sense of a complicated topic.
So I'll leave you with a question. Think about the last time an app or a website just felt good, you know? It made learning something feel easy or even fun. What was it doing? Was it the instant feedback? The simple layout? That feeling of being in control? Once you start looking for the secret formula, I promise you'll start seeing it absolutely everywhere.